Hey guys, the last time I made a video on my cello journey was when I was 6 weeks into learning the cello, and I am now on my 4-month cello anniversary as of this week. So I've learned a lot since then. I feel like I've come a long way. In the beginning, this is a tough instrument, one of the toughest instruments I've ever had the pleasure of learning. So I wanted to just go over a few things that have helped me out, show you some of the books that I've used to get me to where I am now. Maybe give you some tips if I might be able to do that. I'm still very young at learning the cello, and I have a long way to go. I have so much to learn. I feel like I've learned so much, but yet I still have a lot to learn. But just a few things I wanted to go over and show you some of the tunes that I've learned. I've also entered the 21 Days of Practice Challenge on Instagram that Miss Polka Dots put up on her Instagram feed, and I went ahead and joined that. I've been sick the last couple of days, so today is supposed to be day 21. I figured I'd go ahead and give it a shot. I chose a Etude by Dotzer, number 17, so I'll be playing that a little bit later. I feel like I came a long way from starting that. On day one, I wondered why I even chose that. I felt like it was beyond what I should even be trying at, 3 to 4 months in on learning the cello. But I'm glad I did. Up until this point, I have learned first position, second position, third position, fourth position, and entering this 21 Days of Practice Challenge has helped me a lot with the shifting and learning to read the notes better, learning to it's very challenging, just all the shifting and moving up and down, and you'll see when I play it later. It doesn't sound perfect, but I'm very happy with the progress I made within 21 days, shy a couple of days because of me being sick, but either way, I'm very happy with the progress, and I'll put those links at the bottom in the description so you can go check out some of the others that entered the challenge as well. There's a few other people that did it, and I'm really impressed with the pieces they've chose. They have a lot more experience than I have, and hopefully one day I'll be as good as they will. And I'm really proud of those in the 21 Day Challenge. You all did a great job. So thanks for keeping me motivated. Seeing your videos kept me motivated. And, I plan to keep doing stuff like this. I do a lot of painting and photography and art. And so I hope to take this 21 days of practice and do something like that with my art. So stay tuned on my YouTube channel. Hopefully I'll start producing more artwork. I know there's a lot of people out there that have been asking me to do more videos, that they'd like to see more of my work. So I do plan on doing that, giving myself a mini challenge, maybe do a few paintings a week and do some progress, some time-lapse videos. So stay tuned for that and keep your eye out on that. One tip that I would give everyone, I know a lot of people start off with learning with the Suzuki books, and those I didn't go the Suzuki method. I actually purchased this book here, Cello Playing for Music Lovers. That's the book that I purchased. It had really high ratings on Amazon, and I read up a lot about it, and it turned out to be a very good book. I really enjoyed it, and I do recommend that book. Maybe not for the only book that you use, but I purchased that book. I also purchased The Art of Cello Playing. This is a very good book. It has a lot of exercises in it. Maybe goes into it a little more advanced, I would say, but both of them together have helped me get to where I am. When I got to the fourth position in this book here, the Cello Playing for Music Lovers, that's when I hit a wall, and I started getting confused with what notes to play, and just reading the key signatures, I started getting a little bit confused, and I was getting confused if what fingers I'm supposed to place where and what position. Is that fourth? Is that third? Is that second position? So I felt like I had to slow down and I had to take a step back and almost go back to the beginning of the book and start. And I also watched some YouTube videos that talked about key signatures, and I had to kind of reteach myself how to look at a sheet of music and know what signature it was in, so that I knew somewhat what scale I was going to be playing within that piece of music. So one tip is to slow down. You know, as adults, we want to hurry up and learn. We got to slow down. It's we know how it's supposed to sound, and if it doesn't sound right, we get frustrated with it, and we see where we want to be, and if we don't get there fast enough, we get frustrated with it. If you're going to take up the cello as an adult, you can't rush this. Not this instrument. You know, I've played guitar. I played violin when I was a little kid. I played guitar. I played a little bit of harmonica. Cello by far has been the most challenging instrument, but the most rewarding. It's a beautiful sounding instrument. I don't know if I make it sound beautiful, but maybe one day I will. But you know, you have to slow down. You can't rush this instrument. You can't rush learning this instrument. So one thing I did, I went back and I kind of just restudied key signatures and understanding that a little better, and that helped out a lot. And then I got this book because someone suggested it on one of the cello forums that I'm a member of, on the Google Cello forum. I'll post that. It's for adult cello beginners, and I will post that in the description for anybody that's interested. It's a really good forum that keeps me motivated, seeing other adults learning how to play. But this book, I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't recommend this book as the only book for you to learn, but for something else to go in between the others, I just really enjoy it. It has some very nice pieces in it, and I'll be playing something from that a little bit later. So I'm going to play something that's rather simple. That way you can see what kind of music you'd be playing if you got something like this. So I'll be playing something from here in just a little bit. One other tip is find stuff that sounds good to you. Find stuff that you enjoy. You know, a lot of people start off in the Suzuki books, and you know, you start off with playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and tunes like that, because we know what that's supposed to sound like, and we can relate to that. But for me as an adult, that I didn't want to start off like that. I wanted to start off simple, but I wanted to start off with tunes that sounded beautiful, and not just you know, lullabies or you know, things like Mary Had a Little Lamb or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And if you're learning that way, that's perfectly fine. But for me, in order to stay motivated, I needed to learn from books like the ones that I've showed you, that had pieces of music that were from larger pieces of music that just sounded beautiful. And you know, there's plenty of things on YouTube. I've gone on YouTube and have got a lot of information. I'm going to post some links in the description for different, what I like to call YouTube teachers. So one of the songs that I learned how to play is called Weeping Willow. And it's a short piece. It's supposed to be played sadly. So maybe play it a little slower than it's intended. Maybe a little quieter in some parts, a little louder in some parts, you know. It's one of those tunes that play what you think sad is supposed to feel like. You know, you don't always have to play a tune exactly how it is on paper. You know, if it says to play it sadly, your version of sad might be different from someone else's version of sad. Play it to how you feel that it needs to be played. It's a nice little tune, and it's very simple to play. have a simple little tune called Weeping Willow. It's all played in first position. I didn't play it perfect, but I'm satisfied with that. I've come a long way. I'm still learning. The hardest thing to learn, I think, is the bow hand. Oh my goodness. Maybe you could hear while I was playing some of the notes. My bow kind of bounces a little bit sometimes, so I'm still trying to understand that. Now, granted, I'm doing all of this without a teacher. I'm doing all of this just self-taught, taking advice from others, watching people on YouTube, reading, and just watching people on YouTube. There's a lot of good sources on YouTube. I'm sure maybe I would be a little further along if I had a teacher. Maybe not. I don't know. I've always considered myself a fast learner. There's been a few days where I've got frustrated learning, practicing here, and so like I said before, I just had to learn to slow down and just take a step back and just revisit some of the older lessons and look at them and just make sure that I understood what the lesson was trying to teach. So once I started learning fourth position, that's when I lost it, and I was so confused. I didn't understand what key I was supposed to be playing in and whatnot, and so that's when I had to take a step back. And then I learned this song, and this is one of the first songs that I learned in fourth position. It's the Davy Jones theme from Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'll go ahead and play this one for you, and let's see how I do. So that was the Davy Jones theme. Again, not perfect. A couple squeaks here and there, but I'm still learning. Like I said, the bowing is probably the hardest thing to learn and get down, just the right pressure. I do notice that my shoulder tends to come up, so I'm trying to learn to just relax and, stay relaxed. It seems like I tense up sometimes, and I notice my shoulder comes up, so I'm still practicing that. So if anybody has any tips as far as that goes, let me know. I've learned stuff like minuet in C, so I'll go ahead and play that. that was Minuet in C by Johann Sebastian Bach. It's a nice little tune. It's all played in first position. So it's good to, that's a good tune to learn, get your fingers moving and everything. Get some, faster notes in there. You got quarter notes, you got half notes, you got eighth notes in there. So that's a good tune to learn. So I'm going to play a tune from this book here. It's lesson number 6. This is the lesson I'm playing. I like this book because it has an exercise and then it goes into the lesson, and that lesson has to do with the exercise. So I'll just play this real quick and then I'll get to the etude. So again, that's all in first position, but it covers all 4 strings, and it's a really pretty I'm about halfway in the book where it gets to 4th position, and that's kind of where I stopped, and then I entered the 21-day challenge and the 21 days of practice challenge, and that's what I'm going to do next. So let me get to that. So the exercise that I've been doing is from Dotzer. So different etudes that he has, exercises for the cello, and it's number 17 that I'm doing. When I first heard this, after I played, if you've never heard it, look it up on YouTube, Dotzer, number 17. There's a few people that play it, and they play it beautifully. I do not give this song any justice at all, but I'm eager to get to where I can play it as beautiful as they do. When I first started this and I picked this for the challenge, we were told to pick a piece of music for the challenge and you practice it for 21 days. So I figured, why not do this one? It's probably a little further along than where I was, but it had all the positions that I was currently learning. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, extended, half, all of the positions up to 4th position. And the first week I said, oh my goodness, why did I pick this piece? I thought it was a bit much for me. When you play something for 21 days, you start to memorize it, and there's some parts that I memorize, and so it helps out. I hope that I can memorize all of it. I haven't memorized it. I just memorize pieces. I just kind of know what note comes next. So hopefully I can get this memorized, because I can see when you memorize a piece of music, that's one less thing that you have to worry about your brain to process, and you can concentrate more on playing it beautifully. So I'm going to go ahead and play this piece. This is for the 21-day challenge. Hopefully it comes out all right and doesn't sound too much like dying cats, but it's a very challenging piece. I'm nowhere close to playing it perfect or even good, but the progress I have made, I'm very happy with it. I still got a long way to go, and I'm going to keep practicing it. Maybe not every day now. I do feel one thing I've learned is that practicing something every day, even though it got me to where I am today with this piece, it's a bit much. I feel like it's not good for me to practice the same piece every day. It does not give my mind enough time to process what I've learned. This is the Dotzer number 17. Ah. I almost made it through. That's actually pretty good because I've, you don't know how many times I've done it before this one, right? This take right here. So I'm gonna accept that. You know, not too bad. I'm happy with that actually. But I felt like it was a good exercise for this 21 days of practice challenge. So, anyways, that's about where I'm at. You know, I've learned to play quite a bit of stuff. You know, I chose a few easy ones today just to show you what kind of things you could learn if you're starting off yourself. Even just in the first position, you can play some really beautiful stuff. It gets more exciting once you start learning, you know, second, third, and fourth position, but it also gets more difficult. So I don't know. I don't think it ever gets any easier. You know, it can take, you know, 3 or 4 years before you start to get comfortable with this instrument here. So you have to have a lot of patience, and that's one thing I don't have when it comes to something like this because I want to learn it so fast. But this is not the instrument to learn fast. Take your time, enjoy it, enjoy the journey. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know if you enjoyed it, the playing, the music, but I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you get something out of it. If you have any questions, any tips, if you see something I need to work on, please let me know because your help really helps me out. Your tips really help me out. There's been so many people that have offered me advice, and I appreciate it because it has helped me get to where I am today. So thanks. Hope to make another video soon. Bye.